I'm excited. We're live on Facebook right now, everybody, with the Martin Eiden team. And Ask the Expert with Whit Prouty as our guest host. So, Whit,
Thank you, Martin.
take it away.
All right. Thanks, Martin. I appreciate that. So today we're going to be talking about fitness in 2021 and beyond with Joy Prouty of Zumba Fitness Incorporated, the company. So Joy, tell us a little bit about yourself. And yes, we share the same last name. We might be related.
Yeah, what's the story with that?
Joy's my mother. And a
That's
testament
awesome.
to fitness. But we are going to get into a little bit more about, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us the company that you work for in case anybody has been under a rock and doesn't know who Zumba is. Your job title, what it is you do a little bit, and how you got there. And then we're going to get into more conversation after that.
Well, I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I was a dancer, went from high school to New York to Florida. Had an opportunity to teach my first fitness class way back in the 60s when fitness was like, what is this to music? And it was the beginning of a career that I'm still very involved with and totally in love with all these years later.
Right. So you work for Zumba. Tell us what Zumba is, what your job title is, and like what you do for them.
So Zumba Fitness, for those of you that might not know what it is a global company. We are in 180 countries. We teach approximately 15 million people before the pandemic a week, and in approximately 200,000 locations. I was brought into Zumba Fitness in 2006 to run a program for them called Zumba Gold with a collaborator of mine, Josie Gardner. One thing led to another, and in approximately 2008-9, I began to work within their home office in their education department. So my title is Director of Education and Programming, and my responsibility.
You know, I'm going to just interrupt just for a second and ask you to maybe pull your computer in a little bit closer so we get you closer to your microphone, just because your volume is a little bit low. We want everybody to be able to hear you.
And this is the exciting part. Is that better?
That's better.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. So I was brought into Zumba. Zumba was founded in 2001. And it was a little company when I happened to come into them in 2006. And the company has mushroomed and grown. And I was brought in because of my background in fitness and in education and in the credibility of what we do in fitness programming. So I came in, their education department had just started, but I was brought in to grow it and to give it substance. So my responsibility in the company, which is quite large now, is to develop new programs. We have about 20 now. We do e-learnings, we do live trainings, we do live classes, and also I'm responsible for giving us the credibility in the fitness industry around the world so that we are recognized not only as a fun, exciting fitness program that's very diverse for so many ages and groups of people, that all of our programs are grounded in exercise science and so are accepted and are credible programming.
Right. Safety is extremely important in the development of your programming, correct?
Exactly. So that's part of what I do every day on a daily basis. And I have to tell you, there's never a dull day and it's never boring. And especially this last year or so, the whole world has changed as far as what we're doing in fitness. And so I can begin to talk about that a little, if that kind of is a good segue for you.
Yeah, that's perfect. So COVID hits and we know that everybody flees gyms. Well, gyms are also shut down. And really, it impacts the fitness industry. Also, too, we can talk about how just trying to purchase gym equipment for your home then becomes difficult because everybody's scrambling to be able to work out at home. And talk to us how that's impacted your company and what you all have seen from that business level.
You're right. Things changed in a moment almost, where we were in 200,000 locations or more uh, every day, every month, every year. All of a sudden, gyms are closed down, live trainings are closed down. And I have to say, our company is so alive and so smart and looks to meet the needs of making people healthy, happy, whole, exercise. We turned on a dime. We established our own um, platform within a month and went to virtual classes, virtual trainings. And as you know, we live in a virtual world today. Here I am with you. And I have had to learn a lot.
You're saying Zumba didn't use Zoom?
Oh,
That's funny. That's funny, Whit. It's amazing you guys turned around so fast.
yeah, we honestly, it's amazing the switch that we did, because we have hundreds of thousands of instructors and all these people that need to work out, need a sense of community. And it's like, well, we're not going to leave them stranded. We're not shutting down. We're a big company. What do we need to do? So, our people, I will tell you, I have worked virtually. I work from home now since March 15th of last year. I don't think I've ever been busier. And that's for our whole team, not only me in education, but all of our people in music, all of our people that are doing all these amazing things by setting up a whole new world. So, what's happened in fitness? Well, join the world of virtual teaching and communities. And there is so much now out there. When we look at the future and what do we forecast, we look at the Pelotons, we look at those companies that were already doing virtual fitness before we started this during the pandemic, but have grown amazingly. People like Peloton, even NordTrack, Beachbody, Les Mills, you name it, Apple, a big time coming into this wonderful world of put on the Apple Watch, let's tune in and not only tell you how many calories you're burning, but you can get into fitness classes. What do we think is going to happen? I think the virtual world is here to stay. But I also think as gyms are opening, I think people are also hungry for that communication and that energy. Where are we going to end up? I think with a mix. But as Whit mentioned earlier, as we got into this pandemic and you couldn't go to the gym, you couldn't order even online, even through Amazon. You couldn't order equipment. You couldn't buy dumbbells, rubber tubing, exercise mats, stability balls, all of the things that we know we use. And so home workouts are huge. It's almost sort of like going back in the, I know you all are young to think about this, but back in the 80s when Back to the Future came out and we think of what happened in those days. I feel like we're going back to the future because in the 80s, the VCRs came out and all of the fitness programming that were exercise. I made a whole bunch of those back in those days.
All those tapes.
Those workouts that we did. And so they were vibrant, they were alive. And then people, well, okay, we didn't want to just work out at home. We wanted to go to the gyms. We wanted to go to the workout places. We wanted that sense of community and energy. And now here we are again. We're back at home working out with all kinds of opportunities. I mean, you go on, I'm sure you get emails like I do. You get hundreds of people reaching out to you daily saying, we have classes here, we have this. And so many clubs, so many companies now, like the Les Mills and the Pelotons and the Beachbodies and Echelon and some of these other corporations that are just blossoming. Everything is by membership. So people are.
Yes. What are some of the changes that Zumba has made and all? And I do also want you to speak to the fact that Zumba isn't just dance. You actually were part of a program called Strong as well too, which is very, it's strength training oriented, which is very different than just the dance. Music certainly plays an integral role in it, but it is a strength training program. And so how has Zumba changes, or what changes are they making? And are people signing up for Zumba classes through the company, or their individual gyms still, or trainers?
Lots of great questions. So let me address our programming. Yes, we came out in 2001 as a Latin-based dance fitness program. From that, we evolved into what I was part of developing, the Zumba Gold, which is for the active adult, older adult. Then we went into aqua. Then we went into lightweight training. Then we went into a kids program. Then we went into a baby program. And out of this, the company keeps growing. And then 4 years ago, I was very, very happy to be able to be involved in us taking on a whole different route, where we entered the HIIT exercise arena, which is a very different arena for us. We developed a program called Strong Nation. And Strong Nation is HIIT, martial arts, plyometrics, very much exercise focused. And we do just the opposite of what most companies do. Instead of saying, here's music, let's choreograph, we do the moves. We hire people to write the music for us. We've had some big time music people align with us to write music. And we are in a whole different arena as well, which makes us very inclusive in the marketplace. So what's happening with that and with our people? Our people have many opportunities, because when they teach, we don't take a percentage of what they do, but we want them involved in our company and what we call our Zumba Instructor Network, which is our family, our community of instructors globally. So to keep this alive and healthy and well, we've been looking for opportunities for our people to teach. We have our own technology and our own platform, but we also give them the opportunity to go on Zoom and do live classes, or to go on Zoom or our own programming and pre-record classes. In addition to that, we haven't stopped education. We have 8-hour trainings or 2-day trainings. And what we've evolved and done is to take those same opportunities and platforms, and we teach all of our programs now virtually, as well as we're starting, as some companies are beginning to open, and we can do some live trainings again. It's awesome, but we still are able to provide fitness education, programming education, and opportunities for people to get their feet wet, get involved in teaching our Zumba programs, try it out virtually, and as the floodgates open and they can go live again, they'll have those opportunities. I think as we progress in the next year or so, I think we will always have some of that virtual market with us, because it does allow us to cross a lot of lines. And we're a global company. We're in Asia. We are really literally in over 180 countries. We have a lot going on in China, Korea, Japan, the UAE, you name it. And we're in Turkey, Latin America, of course. So we are being able to tap into all of those markets virtually and give people in all of these countries a really good taste of our education team. We have a huge education team that present our trainings. And I have the privilege of being able to work with a lot of them in preparing them to do their education and teach the programming that we've developed. So it's an interesting state, and I think the fitness industry is going to stay this evolution. Is going to stay.
Right. So let's talk a little bit, like, where do you see people working out right now, and then from there, let's segue kind of like into what's happening to gyms, what's happening to small ones, what's happening to big chains.
And really good questions, because I think I see people, well, a lot has happened. People, of course, had to work out at home and I would say probably the real estate market has seen how people maybe want more space. They need.
Absolutely.
So it's great for all of you, for each of you. But people are working out at home, but we're also seeing a lot of outdoor fitness. And of course, I'm in Florida, so a state like Florida, except in the middle of the summer, outdoor fitness is incredible. But I've even seen some opportunities like in New York, where when you get a cold day, there are some rooftop opportunities where people are screening in and have heat lamps and things going, where people are working out inside that arena, but in the outdoor setting.
Yeah, I can attest to here in Los Angeles area. You drive by any park and you can absolutely see still tons of people exercising and what looks to be meeting with trainers or outdoor classes that are going on in parks and open areas.
So, and the gyms have suffered. The little guys, especially those that have been able to turn on a dime like we did and begin to offer even, again, virtual personal training. Some of them have survived. The big box gyms, the 24 hours, the LA Fitness, the big companies, they were shut down, and then they've been able to open in some cities, in some states more than others, but with a lot of guidelines and spacing. So they've had to revamp what they do. And many of them are offering outside classes, a lot more personal training. And that's another thing that's been really interesting to see, is that the average, not the average, but I say a fitness instructor, say, that's been teaching group exercise or teaching in a gym, we see a lot of people going now and becoming certified as personal trainers, getting a nutrition certification, going into more mind body, so that they have a lot more opportunities to explore in this virtual market. And even when we go back to real in life, one-on live trainings and live classes. So the certification agencies have been doing really well during this time, amazingly enough, because people are gathering more information, so they have more opportunities and can teach in more venues, virtual as well as live. So
well, that's certainly not bad to have educated fitness professionals.
I agree.
And that's something we require of all of our education team. We have about 250 what we would call ZESs, or master trainers, that teach our programs globally. And we require them to have fitness certifications, because the education has to start at the top with us, providing programming that is grounded in exercise science. And then those that deliver the message to instruct to people that want to be instructors or to learn more, those people also have to be well educated and versed in the foundation of fitness, in physiology and anatomy and kinesiology, and a little bit about nutrition, so that what they deliver is something they know and they understand. So
Joy, I had a question, if you don't mind. I just wanted to go back, and I'm in a quiet space now. Jared muted me because I was in a park, so I'm now in the office. So Joy, has membership for Zumba, is it at pre-COVID levels? Is it higher because of the virtual, or is it a little bit less, or what does it look like for business and that kind of thing?
We have been so blessed because our company is doing great. We have new people coming in, and of course, some of our people that have a lot of family demands and a lot going on personally with, other, maybe their husband or wife, or part of what's going on in their lives with COVID, may have had to step back. But by and large, our company is growing, and that's our outreach, is to help our people become successful and give them avenues to continue to teach and be viable. So we are doing a lot of messaging, a lot of work to try to invigorate not only the people that have been part of Zumba all these years, but also to reach out to markets that are now hungry for that opportunity, for that exercise experience. Because
I think like what he's talking about is like, your client really is the instructor, correct? So you're looking like, so has your membership actually been able to increase during 2020? And what are the forecasts for 2021?
It builds from the top. We have our team of educators, education department, our whole company and all that's involved. Then we have us that develop education, that train our educators. Then we have our instructors, and then we have our consumer market. And our consumer market is huge when you think that we used to, sort of touch maybe 50 million people in classes. So it's that mix, because when the consumer demand is there, obviously the demand for the instructors is greater. When the demand for the instructors is greater, the demand for education is greater. When the demand for education is greater, our company even becomes more viable. So all of those have to work together for us to have a healthy business. So it's a little bit of all of it, Martin. Yes, the consumer is impacted, our students are impacted, but the consumer out there has been looking for really fun, different ways to exercise. And
Right.
have they been given a lot to choose from? I mean, on any given day, I'm sure you go onto YouTube or any of these channels that host classes and workouts, and the sky's the limit.
So what do you need for your home workout gym? What would you tell somebody? What are the basics that they need to start exercising?
I won't show you the corner of my living room, dining room. I would say all you need is probably a computer or a TV, something, Apple TV or a computer that you can get into and play music and maybe follow a great instructor. Then, depending on what you do, you need a left space to move. If someone like me that wants a rounded program, I'm outside early in the morning, and then I come in and I turn on music and I do a workout to music, some free weights, exercise mat, maybe a stability.
You need a huge, these big, massive free weights, or what do you?
Well, for someone like me, all right, now I'm not talking to those of you guys that are just wonderfully big guys, but I have 6,
Right.
10s, and 12s. For me, I'm a little frame. That's about as much as I can do in a home workout with free weights. I could probably go a little higher if I want.
Although I'm going to say I've watched some strong videos, and strong, you don't actually need very much weight at all to get an incredible calisthenic strength workout, and you're using your big muscles, and you are getting stronger.
And I'm so happy you mentioned that, because in our strong program, we use no equipment. It's all body weight, plyometrics, HIIT, explosive moves, sort of some of the martial arts moves. And so that program was developed intentionally without any equipment. All you need is your body and the music and one of our teachers leading you for one of our videos. And that's it.
And you can get a good strength training workout in that way.
Body weight exercises and for those of you that don't do them, the push-ups, the jumps, the squat jumps and the jumping jacks. I mean, you're working your cardio system, you're working your muscles and your bones, and you get an enormous workout. So yes, you don't really need anything except your body and something to follow. Absolutely.
Right. And so I think you touched on this, but I would imagine too, it sounds like Zumba as well is really, technology is very important. And certainly you also briefly touched too that companies like Peloton, Nordic Track, the Mirror, all these companies that are giving you interaction or virtual interaction are thriving. And they certainly look like business models that are moving forward. Although I would imagine, and talk to us more, like we still are anticipating an open up of in-person gyms going back to occupancy, etc.
When we look at the world, I mean, just think of how eager each of us has been maybe to be able to go out to dinner, to be able to be with people, because we're people. So yes, the opportunities to work out at home are just mind-blowing. but I think that you're going to see a fusion. You're going to see some virtual and you're going to see some live moving forward. And all of these companies that have been established, Peloton, really for their bike, they've all had to diversify their plate of what they offer through this time. No longer are they just a one-shop thing. Peloton has been branching out to offer other ways to work out. The mirror is very diverse, all of us. And same with us with Zumba. I mean, we were known as Latin Dance Fitness, and we have evolved and changed, added strong, and we keep moving. We keep moving forward because you can't stay still in any marketplace in these days, and especially now. There's so much out there, and with the wonderful world of computers, everyone is under the microscope, and everybody's looking for something new and different and fun, as are we. So the sky's the limit. I think it's a very exciting time. It's an exciting time to think of what's next. What can we do better? What else can we offer the consumer, as well as those instructors that make a livelihood from teaching our classes and our programs? So we're in I think, a unique way where we have both the instructors, the trainings, and the consumer, which is really kind of a nice way to be.
And do you see any
Absolutely.
any new
Go ahead, Whit.
trends? I mean, I was going to say, like, for a while, interval training was like big. Then there was the Reebok step that was big. Then Zumba dance that was big. I mean, we can go through all these different phases and all this different stuff. What's on the horizon for Zumba or the fitness world? What do you think?
That's the big question, Whit, and that's what we're all looking for. And to say that we don't think and work a couple years ahead, we do. In our planning and in our programming, we're always thinking not just now, but 2 to 3 to 4 years down the pike. Little did we think a year ago, or a little more, that we would be in this virtual world. And we've adapted, we've changed, we have grown, and we're meeting the needs of our people. But what's coming forward, I think we're going to see a lot more outdoor opportunities. I think we're going to see a lot more fusion. And what's the next best thing? What's next after Zumba? I don't really have the exact answer to that, but I will tell you we're working on a lot of really cool things right now. So to be continued. You just may have to interview me a year from now.
Oh boy. There we go.
I love that. I love that. That's a perfect sort of wrap up. The half
And
hour
that
goes
does.
always so fast.
Yep. We're right at the end, and yeah, there we go. To be continued.
Well, Joy, thank you so much for taking time to talk with us today and give us some insights. You've been an absolutely fantastic guest. So enjoyable to have you on the show. And I hope to do a Zumba class with you sometime, someplace, somewhere.
Absolutely. I need to come to New York and give you a personal training on that.
Oh, that would be great. Absolutely.
This opportunity to share what has been a passion of mine for so many years and continues to be a passion.
Wow, that is great. That is great. Well, Whit, thank you as well for being our rotational guest host on the last
My pleasure.
whatever. So thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for checking in again with the Martin Eiden team with the Ask the Expert series. Joy and Whit, if you want to hold on after the show, that'll be great. Thanks.
Fantastic.